Hello and welcome back to another episode of the LA Poker Roundup. We have a really special one for you tonight. I hope there's a lot of you out there ready to go because we have with us Sami Bechahed. I believe they're starting to call you Sammy the Dealer. We'll see how you feel about that later. I saw that in a
Yeah.
poker.org tweet earlier today. But we have our special guest Sammy with us today. Everyone who plays around LA knows this guy's been crushing it for the last year. And then we are going to do about an hour interview with Sammy, and then we'll wrap up with our regular coverage of what happened last week in the LAPO and the what's coming up this Thanksgiving week. So for the few of you who do not know, Sammy here is a dealer currently at Hustler Casino Live. That's where he was best known and first known. But over the last 2 years, actually maybe even the last year and a half here, Sammy has racked up over $1 million in live tournament earnings, playing in just crushing it in everything. So most recently, Sammy just got first place in the NAPT main event.
Becoming red like my wine. Sorry.
In the NAPT main event up at Resorts World. Before that, he won a ring over there in Thunder Valley, another World Series of Poker circuit ring. And I say another because the year before that, last November, Sammy, I'm noticing Novembers are big months for you. He got first place in the World Series of Poker circuit main event at Choctaw. And here at the bike, he's got his picture on a banner on the wall for winning one of the mini Mega Millions. And you don't get a banner for it, but getting second at the Mega Millions last year was also pretty nice payday. So welcome to the show, Sammy. We're happy to have you here.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Yeah, so Sammy, I think the very first time I met you, actually, we ended up at a final table together. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
That was
it
like the
was my
very
very first round table. You were in it, yeah. I remember.
yeah
Of course I do.
yeah, and it's funny because I've always known you as a poker player before. I had no idea that you were a dealer until like much later. So it's like I think we need to change your name. It's no longer gonna be Sammy the Dealer. We're gonna give you like Sammy the Killer or something. I think it's gonna be like your new name.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask
I'm
that.
not a big fan of Sami the Deer anyway.
Yeah, so let's do it right now. Sammy, do you have any other nicknames people have called you that you would prefer? Because we could try and get that started right now.
I kind of call you
Don't
Sammy
need a
the Crusher a
nickname.
lot.
Sammy the Crusher?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you to don't call me that. No, Sami is totally fine. I don't need a nickname.
All right,
Sami,
Sammy.
there's not a lot of Sami in the poker world,
That's true.
especially SAMI.
We've got
Yeah.
Jesse in the chat. Congratulations, saying congratulations to you, Sammy.
What's up, Jesse? I know this guy. Very nice guy.
The Dealer Killer. That's your new name.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought when I heard you were the dealer, I'm like, wait, what dealer? Like Magic? Who's Sammy? I don't know Sammy.
Yeah.
Now we all know
Yeah.
Sammy.
Yeah,
So I mean, with
I
that,
don't
yeah,
know that much about.
yeah. So with that, yeah, we'd love to
Sorry.
hear. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, when did you come to LA?
Oh, so from the beginning, I arrived to this country in 2016. I met my wife in 2015. I was on vacation in LA actually with a friend, and I met my wife on my last night in LA. And then a year later, a year of long distance relationship, I decided to quit everything to come live here for yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that's so romantic, man. So romantic.
It is. It is.
Uh, that's French. I'm French, so
You are
very
French,
romantic.
and you guys are about to have a baby, huh?
Yeah, finally after all these years,
Wow,
finally.
that's amazing. And not only about to have a like eminently, like you might have to leave the podcast potentially to go to the hospital. It's so soon, right?
Bag is ready. The hospital bag is ready.
Man, well, here's I'm hoping that that it's not for at least the next hour, but if so, it'd be amazing. Now, what exactly how did you end up getting into dealing then? Were you a dealer were you a dealer in France before, or were you into
No,
casino?
not at all. I arrived in LA and I was looking through jobs. Like I was ready to take any job possible, and I was playing online poker for like maybe 10 years in France. So I knew the game, and I saw this ad of the bike hiring dealers and like training them to hire dealers. So I went through a school at the bike that was free, and
Nice.
I grind hours and hours of training and became a dealer a month after. Yeah, started like from the 1-2 game, you know, the 40 no limit game at the bike they
Oh
have,
yeah.
and got lucky, got involved with the producer for that live at the bike at that time, and started working on that show for like 3-4 years.
Great. Now, who was the
Yeah,
producer at that time?
Ryan Farman.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, Ryan.
right with
That's right,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I know there
Yeah.
were multiple owners at
yeah,
the time. So
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, Ryan wasn't the official producer, but he was pretty much doing everything, all the job, all the
Oh,
work.
awesome. And so you were a dealer. You started the bike in so what was that? Maybe 2016 or so? 2017?
20 and the end of 2016, yeah,
2016? Okay.
until COVID.
Okay, gotcha. So you've been dealing for like 7 years or so now, right?
Yeah, like yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Time passes.
I've been
You didn't
doing
even
it
realize that,
all
did you?
time since I'm here. Yeah, no, I didn't because it's been slower in terms of dealing like this last maybe since COVID, pretty much.
I got you.
Like I stopped working at the bike when COVID hit, and then during COVID I did like the home game. I dealt like some home
Mm.
game, like every single dealer
Yep.
that wanted to make money,
Yep. Yep.
and after a little while, I worked at I got hired at HCL.
Yep. Gotcha. And then when the game moved, when Ryan's took that production and formed Hustler Casino Live, he just brought you with him, or?
Yes, at first he wanted to bring us the exact same team, and I refused the job at first
Oh.
because I was doing well in the home games, and plus I started to play poker, and I had like some my early scores, so I didn't think I needed a job, but the home game went slower and slower as the casino reopened. So I and somebody and a job opportunity came back again, and they re-asked me, and I accepted the job. Yeah, started in March 2022, I think. Yeah, I think
Awesome.
like that.
I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are really interested in, especially when HCL first started up, there's a lot of excitement. It's now they've kind of got their core audience going. But for you, what has been your favorite thing about working there? What would have been some of your favorite events or favorite games you've built?
First of all, my favorite thing about this job is like I work with very cool people, like very cool people that allow me to be super flexible with my poker playing. So I pretty much play whenever I want, and they let me do whatever I want. Like, so that's the first thing that I want to bring up. Is they're like super flexible, super nice with me, and dealing these games allow me to like be in tune of the game. Like I'm always connected to the game. I'm always thinking about plays, thinking about bet sizing when I'm working, like thinking about like tells,
That's
anything I
cool.
can pick up. I'm really study the game, but like when I'm working, I'm like 100% like focused. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so when you're watching these games, because I've seen a few of these streams, how often do you have to stop yourself when someone throws in a bet and just be like, "What are you doing?" Like, how much? Because I haven't seen on the a lot of these streams, these guys seem like they're purposefully trying to play as wild as possible. It seems like it should be hard to learn like
I
that.
mean, you learn from good, but you also learn from bad players. I mean, you play with this different kind of players all the time. You don't only play with good players, so you have to learn patterns that every single type of player has. So that's important. I think that's important. So and plus, yeah, I'm nobody to judge anybody's play. So
No, I mean that's actually really interesting because one of your strengths I think is I've now put in a lot of hours with you is your ability to it's always like your situation awareness and your card sense is always like pretty spot on, and I'm guessing that probably all the exposure that you have in so many hours at the table, not just playing and dealing, just gets you like that those observational skills. But then your ability just to pull the trigger on your instinct is like wild, man. Like that's why I call you Sammy the Killer. It's because you're just willing to pull the trigger if you just think something. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah, like I listen to my gut, and I when I feel like something is off, I would do it. Sometimes I can look like super stupid,
Of
but I'm not
course.
scared of that. Like
Yeah.
when it doesn't work, I look like super stupid, and that, it's part of the game. Like I just play, listen to my gut, and make the move that the game demands. And if it
So,
doesn't work, it's okay. There will be another tournament.
so let me ask you this then. Who do who would you say is the player that you've dealt to that you've learned the most from, from watching or from observing or, one thing or another, and what do you
So,
think you've learned from them?
I'm not gonna say one specific player, but like I'm gonna say a group of players. So right before COVID, so it was end of 2019. Live at the Bike was every Friday putting on a super sick game with like super super good player. The lineup was the toughest ever. I'm like even surprised this guy wanted to play against each other. Like there was Art Papazian, Garrett, Danzak. Uh, I'm probably gonna forget a lot, so I'm not gonna yeah, continue saying players' name. And those players were like so amazing to watch. And every time I would do this Friday game, I would go home and rewatch the whole thing. And like
Mm.
I was just passionate about how they were playing, how good they were, and that makes me learn a lot.
Now, another question that we got from one of the viewers was, I guess in some interviews you've mentioned that you don't have a coach, and I think we're hearing some of the ways that you really kind of studied, and it's almost unconventional because we can't all get awesome casino game dealing gigs where we get to watch Garrett and Art battle it out. But Jesse's in the chat here thinking maybe he should start dealing. I think he's going to send you his application soon. Um,
Yeah, you probably recruited a whole bunch of dealers
yeah.
for
Uh,
this show.
For sure. But do you have any other advice for all the LA grinders out there? What's a good way for them to spend their times? I mean, would you say watching streams of really good players is one of the best ways to learn, or is there something else you'd recommend?
I mean, it's a tough question. Everybody has to have his own way that's like talk to them. Like me, I do that and also watch a lot of. There's a lot of free content on YouTube, like awesome player
Mm.
doing analysis, online tournament analysis, and I want to say do that. Watch those player explain those amazing players explaining them their thought process, but also when you do it, be very critical about what they do because your poker has to how do I say that has to be the reflection of yourself. Like it has to be every single move you make has to make sense for you
Yep.
because
Yep.
the danger of doing that and copying those guys is gonna you're gonna make move you're not gonna understand yourself and it's not gonna work in the long run I think.
Yeah, it's about adaptation to your own game. If you just try to copy people, you're probably just going to mess it up, right? You just have to find your own way and just take every good player
Absolutely.
that you observe as just like a signal, right? Just like another tool in your toolbox that you can use. And just like Sammy said, watch bad players too, right? Don't dismiss bad players or bad play. They're doing things for a reason. You got to figure out that reason and exploit them.
Yeah. No, I really love that advice,
Agree.
Sammy. I really love that advice. I think we're in agreement with you totally. I think in our Halloween episode actually we mentioned something about or maybe it was when we were talking, but flipping back and forth between Bin and the fella the week after. We said doing your own style really well is probably better than copying someone who you think is successful, right? So I think we're
Yep.
right there with you, Sammy.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Yeah.
like you deal a lot of cash. So how did you end up playing tournaments?
Ooh, I started in cash. Sorry, I played online tournament millions of hours
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
living in France
hmm,
before moving here. But it's very small tournament, like €5, €10, €20 buy-ins. Like I have millions of hours in this tournament, and I was pretty much break even on those tournaments. I wasn't very successful, but I was playing them because I was wanted to build a bankroll. I wanted to be successful, but I didn't have any discipline online. So that's and so when I first started working as a dealer, I played some cash after work, but not successfully either because I don't know, I didn't put myself in the right setup. And
Hmm.
since when I decided to take poker seriously, that the first result came in.
Yeah. So can
Do you
we?
recommend do you recommend that players play online to like get better?
Oh, 100%. 100%. You see way more hands. You no, yeah. You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. But the danger online is like it's so access. How do you say? It's so easy to uh, to not be disciplined. I want to say
Mm,
because it's yeah. I don't know.
yeah. No, for
For me, it's
sure.
just clicking buttons. So that's
Yeah.
why I stopped now because I don't enjoy it anymore. But yeah, you have to start somewhere. You cannot find $5 tournament, $10 tournament on live tournament. So you have to create an experience.
No,
Yeah, and like that pressure of going deep in a tournament is really, really hard to experience. So playing online and putting in a lot of hours will just let you get deep in tournaments a lot, and then you just get used to those late game dynamics where every like play seems like it's so important, right? And it's so much stress. And if you
Yeah,
just do that for the first time live, it's gonna be tough.
absolutely. And you're gonna get like abused by experienced players.
yep. Now you mentioned when you started getting serious about poker again. I wonder if you could kind of talk a little bit about that time. What triggered that? What changed that let you become serious again? And maybe talk about, was there some struggle coming back? Was there some, what was the journey like to become this crusher that you have be morphed into in the last year?
So it all started in December 2021. So to put the back into the context, I'm working home games. I'm still like in between jobs. I'm working home games, and the casino reopened, so it's kind of slower for me. So I don't have many gigs. So I decided to take some money from my saving accounts, and I pull aside a bankroll for myself. It's a very small one. I selected a few $400 tournaments. That was a series at the bike in December. That was like the WSOPC. And second, I won the second tournament I played. That's where you were on my final table. You finished sixth, I think, Derek, or
Yep.
something like that. It was a
Yep.
brownie $400 tournament. And the very week after, I win my first ring, like a week after, and then 2 weeks after, I finished second for 60K, and that's what like started everything. That was like December 2021. It was like an amazing start.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
see. And that was all at the bike in one serise.
I remember
Yeah,
that. It was like the very first time I met you was at final table, and after that I was like, who is this guy and why does he keep final tabling every week and winning something? It was crazy, man. It was yeah, but I mean that was just
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Derek.
no, I feel like that was it wasn't just like a run good. Like obviously that was you. Like this is you. Like you sustain that success and that momentum, for the long run.
At that time, I thought it was like just to start. So in poker, you always have to prove. You do a good
Yeah.
score, like let's see if you can do it again. Like was it a good run, or was it like just because you're good? Like you always have to prove yourself and kind of prove others. Even though like I don't think I have to prove to nobody, but like always that need to like prove that it wasn't just a one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all of us are a little bit like that. It's I'm the same as you. I don't need to prove things to others. I'm constantly needing to prove stuff to myself.
Exactly, exactly.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's a really common trait amongst people who can win for a long time, right?
Yeah.
You're always pushing yourself,
And then
always getting better, right?
yeah, and then so I had that month, and then for like the whole year until like the World Series, I didn't win anything, and I was like my first step of like professional poker career, and I was trying to play everything and made a lot of mistakes. Went to the World Series, didn't win much, cashed to the main event, but like that that brought back a little confidence, and then that's the summer in August. I finished second in the Mega Million. That's what restart. I want to say everything.
And you ran pretty bad at that final table. I remember I was actually playing another tournament at the bike, and they were streaming it on the screen. I kept looking up, and I was like, every time I looked up, something bad was happening to you, but you still took second place.
Yeah, I started the heads up 5-1 favorite against
Yeah,
Charlie.
Wow. Yeah, that is
And
unfortunate.
he won every single flip.
flip. It was
He
crazy.
won every single flip.
It was insane.
But
So
it's okay. It's okay.
during that time in the year between the that December when you had the big wins and then that August when you hit the Mega Millions, how were you feeling during that time? How did you ever feel like maybe it was a fluke and it was you're gonna have to step back, or did you always have a strong belief in a strong support system?
I mean, uh, I believed in myself, but at the same time, when the result don't come, like you unconsciously doubt yourself. Like obviously, like maybe I was. The good thing is I had like my job. Like I didn't need the money for poker to live or anything. Like I had my job. My wife has a job. Like so, the money was an issue like on the downswing. But like yeah, of course I doubt myself. Yeah, that time.
Do you have any advice for
The
people
confidence.
who are feeling maybe like on a downswing or feeling a little bit like they're in a lull?
Uh, it's gonna be super cheesy if I say like I'll always keep believing. Like it's like believe on yourself. I don't think that's very true. Like if you are in a downswing and you keep believing in yourself and not questioning what you did wrong and what you're doing wrong at the moment is key. Like always question yourself. Like never, no matter how much you win, no matter how your results are, always like look for look for like clue. How do you say? Think to progress your game. Like because
Yeah.
this game always evolve. Like no matter how good you are today, you're not gonna be as good tomorrow if you don't do the right thing.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you take breaks at all after you kind of go through bad runs, or you just try to get right back in it?
No, I take break when I win.
That's funny. That's funny.
I, I take break like because I play worse in the upswing
Oh,
than in the
winner's
downswing. Yeah,
tilt.
yeah, I play more. Oh yeah, 100%.
I
Like,
think you might have a little that, Derek.
but I don't.
I know about winner's tilt.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Sorry. Go ahead, Sammy. Keep going.
No, but I mean, like when I'm in downswing, I'm gonna play more careful and do less.
Mm.
When I experience when after a big win or something like that, I go through a month where I think I'm the best player in the world, and I play some horrendous. I do some
Mm.
horrendous play that like I'm like so ashamed of myself when I go home after. Like I'm tell myself, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, who the fuck you think you are? Like, and then come back on Earth, and it's like yeah, I'm very hard on myself, but that helps.
So I mean, like, you've dealt all these like high stakes, cash games on stream. You've obviously been dealing probably pretty like high stakes games in these home games. Are there any like kind of interesting, crazy stories that you can tell us?
Uh, I don't know about that. Like, not really. Like the poker high stake poker scene is has a lot of politics.
Hmm.
Like it has a lot of politics. Players that don't want to play with those certain players. Like
Hmm.
it's not like you go play 5-10 or 5-5 and in casino you put your name on the board and you play. On those games, there's like politics, and I try not to get involved because it's none of my concern. And no, nothing, not really. I dealt some very big game on home game where like the 1 to 4,000, where buy-in was like 200K, 500K. Like I dealt
Wow.
with some very very big games, and no, I don't want to like no 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 not very interesting stories to be honest.
Man, Sammy, you were
Not that,
just
not that I recall.
you're
Sorry.
just too nice. You're just too nice. Now, I saw someone tell a story on Twitter about you. They said that they saw someone throw you $1,000 tip after a hand one time, and that you threw it back, and you told them that that tip was too big. Is that true? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, so no, it's Pepe, but like I remember that. Like Pepe is like became a regular in Slot Casino Live, and he threw me 1,000, and I was like, no, bro, you just the pot was too small compared to the tip size, and I was like, I gave it back to him, and yeah,
How big of a pot?
I felt like at that time, I think it was like
Oh,
20K,
how big of a
like a
pot
very small
would it
pot.
have to be for you to feel like it was acceptable to take a $1,000 tip?
500K.
500K? All right. So if I drag a 500K,
500K. If you throw me 1,000,
you're keeping
I
it.
take it. I don't say
You're
anything.
keeping
Thank
it.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
What is the biggest
But like,
pot you've ever dealt?
uh, I think around, I think it was 1 million, but it wasn't called. It's so I don't know if it's categorized. It's a rampage bluff.
I gotcha.
When you
Oh, you dealt that
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, I dealt a hand,
Wait, which Rampage
but
Bluff?
like all in
Which
the
million
call.
dollar Rampage Bluff? There's so many now.
Yeah, which one was it?
He had A7 on the queen, 10 jack, and he's open on four the set of queens.
Yeah,
Mm,
he's a real fun player to watch.
he's great TV. He's great TV.
Man, he has heart. He has heart.
He's a great
Also a
TV.
very nice guy.
We got
We got
David
David.
Uvadov. Yep. Are you gonna read that too? Yep.
Yeah, I need Sammy. You need to
David.
confirm. He's saying he's your agent.
He's trying to get 20% of this. Little does he know that you
Yeah.
came on here for free, Sammy.
Yeah, David.
But I mean, not 20%, but at least I owe him dinner because during the NAPT, what he was here, I asked him like few favor, like I was hungry, brought me snack, and I asked him like during the stream table to reveal me some hands, and he
Oh,
was very happy to do it. Very nice support, very nice guy.
I gotcha. No, that's awesome.
Shout out to David.
It's really
He's a good dude.
important. Yep,
He's a
really
good dude.
important to have someone supporting you like that. That makes it so much easier for sure. Oh, he still wants 20% though, so I'm gonna have to let you guys negotiate that off there. So I'm curious, having such good ties to LA, having the baby on the way now. How do you pick which events that you want to go out there and travel to? I know we have something going on in LA every weekend. They're not always huge events, but what do you do when you look at the poker calendar for the year? How do you choose what you circle?
Um, my comfort zone is tournaments between 1,000 and 2,000. I want to say 2,500. So those events, if they are in LA, I want to play them. Then if I'm available to play them because I have a lot of things going on lately, if I'm available to play them, I play them. But like those are the first event I circle. And then if I have, if there is nothing in LA, I look a little around. Like I like to play the main event in the WSOPC
Hmm.
circuit. So I like the $1,700 buy-in.
So
Like
what do you
those are
like
my
about the circuit mains? Is it
tournaments I
just
like
the
to play.
price point, or is it something about the players, or do you like collecting the rings?
Yeah, having earning a ring after winning a tournament is a pretty cool thing to do. Like
Yeah.
kind of an accomplishment. You can add it in your in your. I don't know how do you say that? I know the
Trophy
word in
case.
French, but I don't. But trophy case, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to do. Plus, like the first place is always minimum like 200K, so
Yeah.
it's very good tournaments to play.
And those structures are always really good at the 1K, 2K price point
Exactly,
compared to the ones
exactly,
we play. Yeah.
exactly. And then I look at structures like tournaments have to have at least 40-minute levels, or I'm not like very happy to play them.
Right, right. Otherwise, it's a turbo, right? I gotcha. Now, David's getting pretty cheeky in the chat here. He says that he thinks that your baby's middle name should probably be named after him. Are you having a boy? Are you having a girl? Do you know?
A boy, a boy.
A boy. Oh, congratulations. So David thinks that
Congrats.
your
Thank you.
kid's middle name should be David. I don't know about that, but it was a question in the post interview I saw. But how do you feel about this new baby run good that they talk about? I know that they're saying Jesse Lonis has been running good because of that. They think that maybe you were running really good because of that. And in the last 9 months, I wouldn't argue with them if I looked at have your Hendon pulled up right now. It looks pretty good here. What do you think? Is there any truth to that?
So so to tell you the truth, I really thought I was gonna. So my wife announced me she was pregnant in like end of March. So I went to the World Series of Poker, and just before that I just won the Mini Mega Million at the bike, and I arrived at the World Series thinking I'm fucking due for the baby run good, and plus I just won a huge tournament, so I'm like super excited, and I'm gonna fuck everybody, like, and I got humbled very fast during the World Series, so that wasn't a thing for a little while, and so I experienced my biggest downswing on my short career. So it wasn't a thing. It became a thing very recently. So I take it.
Nice. So maybe it's a thing as long as you don't think it's a thing. Maybe it's like that.
Yeah, when I gave up thinking it was a thing, it became a thing.
Exactly. And now I'm curious, how is this going to impact your tournament schedule? You see yourself pulling back in the next year or two, a lot fewer events or more selective in your events?
It's gonna be interesting, but I don't know. Actually. I haven't thought about it. All I know right now is like I'm on break. I won't be playing any of the sick event that's coming up, like the Win event, the Bahamas, and all the stuff. I'm gonna miss them, but I won't really. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. Not
But
important.
but in the next year, I will probably adjust and find a plan to make it work. But I haven't thought about it yet. Yeah, not sure.
Okay. No, we'll be certainly looking out. And, selfishly, I don't mind if you take one or two events off. Enjoy your family, Sami. They're only young ones. So, I, so we kind of want to, you just won the NAPT main. We want to kind of talk a little bit more in depth on that tournament. I know we've got a hand or two queued up. How about we bring up some footage from that, and you kind of talk us through what you're thinking and what you're thinking during the last couple tables here.
Do it.
All right, let me hit a couple buttons here. Going to share this with you guys, and then I'm going to share for the people, and we'll do our best to narrate what's happening for those that are just listening. So here is this. All right. So this first hand comes from, I believe there are 2 tables left, and let me mute this so that we don't have to listen to them. All right. So, this is the hand. Yep. Why don't you go ahead and kind of describe the situation and what this hand meant?
Oh, no, this is the final table. There's six players.
Oh, I'm sorry. We want to do the other one first. Yep. This hand.
And what a final table this was, man. You beat a table full of killers.
So here there's 8 people left in the field. And Shulman's under the gun with 7s. Palampati right behind him in the cutoff, or back in the cutoff with ace queen offsuit. These guys each have about, Shulman has about 5 million, Palampati has about 3.5, and I believe at this point you were a massive chip leader, correct? Or not yet?
At 8 left, no, I wasn't. I think I became chip leader at 7 left.
Yeah, it's interesting that Palampati chose to flat here instead of 3-betting.
Yeah.
We completely changed the hand.
I folded. I don't think I played that hand, yeah.
Oh, this isn't the right one? Sorry. Hold on, we're looking for the one you're in. And I know that ace queen was involved, so let me apologize for that. It's such a long stream, all right.
Yeah, while Tao's looking for that, I mean, what do you think about that? Oh, okay. Now we got it.
It was new ace queen was involved.
It's
not.
Oh yeah, I played that hand. Yeah, I played that hand. I am in a small blind with queen 10 suited. I'm playing against the chip leaders, which is idle. I absolutely don't want to 3-bet there.
Yeah, he's got 8 million. You've got 4.6.
Yeah, what are the blinds at that time? I had big blind is probably 80 because he raised 175.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So I have like 50 bigs I call there. Then got Truman for the small blind with Jack 4 suited. This hand is pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna bet the just gonna bet the turn. I'm gonna hit the 10 on the turn, and I'm just gonna bet it, and it's gonna call and pull the river, I think.
All right, Derek, go ahead with what you're going to say. I'll find the
Yeah,
hand.
this hand has nothing.
Yep, go ahead and
Oh yeah. I mean, like you had a bunch of killers at your table. It was like Nick Schulman. It was Ido. You know, I mean, like what were you thinking about going in? Like about the caliber of players at this table? Were you worried about it?
Arriving on the final table, there was like I arrived at the final table. It was like I was the only one under a million. This is a hand actually.
yep. But carry on. I'll pause it.
So yeah, I arrived at this table, and I'm like, there is two guys that have in the mob like smaller than mine, which is seat 4 and seat 7, Dayanari and Parampati, and all of them are like, someone has, I don't need to introduce him. Ido has like 15 million. All of them, the rest, like there's Ping Lu, he has like millions of earning. So I rather than the final table cheap leader, but like, so I didn't want to be like impressed by anybody or Star Trek. But at the same time, I had to respect. I have mad respect for them, and I have playing against a player like that makes me play so much better, I think. So,
it's a good attitude to have, man. You belong, right?
Yeah.
Now, would you have approached?
I was trying.
Sorry, I was just going to ask. If this had been a final table, say this was you got to the final table at, I don't know, say the bike, and it was people who weren't as familiar with, right? People who maybe weren't as accomplished. How would you have approached the table differently than you approached this table?
I would have played way more aggressively.
Okay.
You would have bulldozed. You would have bulldozed that final table.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Now, is that because
Probably,
you think less experienced people
probably wouldn't be good?
Do you think it's because less experienced people are the money matters more, or because they're just too tight overall, or because they're like what do you think? Why would that be the blanket adjustment?
Because I feel like in those situations, weaker players are not gonna respond well towards aggression. So yeah, and it's also kind of bad, but like you feel like superior, so you feel like if you raise, you're gonna fold every time. So that's not very good to think that way. So it was kind of perfect situation that the players that were in my table were like those players. So made me play kind of a game where had to respect the game, pretty much.
Gotcha. Okay, Derek, did you want to have a follow up, or do you want me to play the hand?
Oh, yeah, let's get to the hand.
All right, let's play the hand. Now we have the right hand, Sami. So go ahead and you can set us up.
Yeah. This hand, we are 8 left on our table. We end of day 3. We're playing this last level before bagging and coming back for tomorrow for the final day. And this guy opened UTG +1 ace queen, and I played with him the whole day 3, so he was playing pretty much straightforward. And I pick up aces on the cutoff here, and I have two very aggressive player on my left, Schulman, and the guy on small blind, the guy with sunglasses, Dayanari. And I battled with him the whole day 3, and yeah, we went back and forth, and I got very lucky against him in a hand where I 3-bet him with like a gut shot, and I hit my gut shot on the turn. Got very lucky against him.
Yeah, and for those listening, Palampati opened with ace queen +1. Sami just flatted with aces right behind him in the cutoff, and Dayanati, who he's talking about now, is in the small blind with jacks and is 3-bet to 1.5 million. All right, go ahead.
But like, which is like a huge 3-bet, like Parampati opened 2.2, and
yeah, that's crazy.
To like 18 bigs.
Yeah, it's 10x,
bigs, like
almost 10x. It's crazy.
He committed himself in this hand.
So why do you think he did that?
And obviously to overprotect his jacks, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what he was doing.
I don't know. After it's easy to play, like he committed himself, so I have to shove there.
That's right. That's the right play.
I mean, the hand play itself, like the trap was perfect, but like I also got lucky, picked up Jackson the small blind. So
Yeah, that is a good play. You know, when you have aggressive
this
players to your left that just set them up.
yeah. So that hand changed everything. I at that point I had the chip lead.
Yeah, so this
And
was a 7.6 million chip pot, and that puts
it's
you
a
up
hundred
to
big.
that puts you up over 9 million to go into the final
Yeah,
day, right?
yeah. And then I no, and then I picked up some chips from the second in chips, which was Sergio Ido, where and I arrived at the yeah I bagged at the end of the day like 10 million, which was 100 big blinds coming back the day after. So it was like the
Fantastic.
perfect situation. Yeah.
So I have another hand as I started to try and play the other day or before this one. So you hold here, you get back that lead. Um, this hand from the final day of play, there are 6 left here, and
Yeah.
the fella I think you were just talking about, Ido, he's got pocket nines and
Yeah.
11 million here, and I believe at this point you two are the runaway chip leaders, right? I think at this point you have maybe
Yeah.
12 and he has 11, and then everyone else has like 5 or less, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of,
So
did you have a particular strategy? It's when I looked at the chip counts, and I tried to watch this final day. I was over at Commerce trying to bag up for the XL tournament they're doing. Derek bagged up the day before, so he got to sit back and enjoy watching you
I
run
was
this
just drinking
table.
beer or watching you play poker all day. It was
Yeah,
nice.
it's very jealous. And I tried to watch, and honestly, a lot of us were there. It was like the football games were on, but we were all asking, "How's Sammy doing? Is anyone watching? Is anyone watching the stream? Did Sammy win yet? How's it going?"
that's so nice. That's so nice to hear.
Yeah, and I had to stop watching because typically I could watch a stream like this while I'm playing, no problem. But when I'm watching and I'm watching you play, I was caring too much and I was getting too distracted. Like I wanted to watch every street, I wanted to watch all the action. I couldn't stop, so I had to stop watching live. But um, did you? But I did notice that going in, the chip stacks seemed very unique. You guys were just far and away above everyone else, and then it was you, Ido, with well over 10 million, and then everyone else way down. Did you have a particular strategy going into that final table?
Yes and no. So the strategy was obviously to apply ASEAN pressure on the player on players that were like second, third, and fourth in chips. So in that particular hand, I know that I had a bad ace on the button, and he opened. So I decided to three bet him. It didn't work, I think. Don't really remember. Oh yeah, I had ace nine offsuit on the button. I decided to three bet him there
I remember this hand.
because I don't think he wanted to be involved with the chip leader where
Out of
there is
position.
like
Yeah.
two 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 player with less than 15 bigs and one player less with less than 25 bigs. But yeah, he had to continue obviously to call me with the nine. He played the hand very good.
So
I
Yeah.
were you
This
planning
guy's
to
a
put a lot
world.
of pressure on him
not
when you had position? Like, was part of the strategy to
yeah
frequently
at the
put?
begin at the beginning of the at the before the tournament that was my strategy, but after that kind of changed it because I realized that it wasn't very smart to get involved in big pots against him
So you go for
because he didn't. I didn't really care that much about ICM, and here I
This guy
decided to
is.
bet kind of big. Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Oh, no, I was going to say people who don't know Ido. He's actually a world-class high-stakes player, tournament player,
Yeah,
very, very good player.
Yep.
yeah, the guy had 15 million in earnings, so
Yeah, yeah.
So why
I
did
don't
you
think
choose a larger sizing here?
he cares much because the flop is seven high and the there's a lot of if he calls on the flop there is a lot of card that can uh, well how can I say that like bother him on the
Kind of
turn
scare
like
cards coming?
any face card that would have continued, but this is a very bad card to continue on
Sure.
even though I have a nine that blocks the nuts, but like just when he's gonna decide to lead on the turn and it's just a snap fold and move on to the next hand.
Yeah, I got you. So you were trying to leverage your big
Yeah,
stack with that big flop bet and make him not want to have to
yeah,
make that decision later, right? But yep.
I mean, it's like it's a big bet to represent strength and to apply pressure on a favorable turn and maybe river, but that wasn't the case, so I just gave up.
Yep, and he's got the nines. And then I see you kind of rush off the stage there. Were you going over to tell David to let you know what he had, or what were you thinking at that moment?
No, it's the exact time that my wife arrived drove from California and to Vegas, so that's the exact time when she arrived.
I got you. So that was a really complex hand for a lot of reasons. Turns out that was wow. Okay.
Maybe I saw her before the hand and I decided to be cute and play that.
Trying to show off for the wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. When I saw that, because that was one of the few hands I did get to watch live, I was like, oh man, is he got to go cool off? Is he annoyed he lost the chip lead? What happened? But that makes total sense. That's a much better story.
I was super cool. I was super cool and relaxed the whole tournament. Like I was like, I'm playing with these amazing players. I'm like here. I have the chip lead. I decided to enjoy every second of the moment, even though it was stressful and.
Nice.
Yeah, I could tell from your demeanor just watching it that it was you were acting as if you were just playing at the bike at a $300 tournament. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no pressure. Like we playing cards there. Like at the end of the day, you have to have fun. You're not gonna.
Yep, absolutely.
You're not gonna do anything good.
So David is requesting King Queen hand. I don't know what that is. I asked him to give us timestamp, but do you know what he's talking about? Is that something we could find quickly before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was probably my biggest mistake ever, my biggest punt ever. But I got lucky and I won the hand.
Do you want to take a look? Is it the final day or the day 3?
Day 3, 12 left. We were like 12 or 11 left.
Okay. Derek, if you have any final questions for Sami, I'll do my best to try and find that hand real quick for David. And
actually, so
wrap up with that.
Like that kind of exposure, right, to like a Showman, to an Ido, to a Ping. Did you learn a lot from that table? Do you feel like you got a lot better as a player just getting to sit at a table with these guys?
Yes and no, because I was kind of focused on my thing, and that was after that. Yeah. No, I like to say, like, I have mad respect for those guys, but like I wasn't in any way impressed or like starstruck or anything. Like at the end of the day, all of us received two cards, and we have to make the best decision with them. So. Yeah, it didn't change anything, but like, mad respect for them.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're not scared of players doesn't mean you don't respect them. I think you are at this point at their level, right?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, I'm at my level. I don't want to compare anything. I still have a lot to do to be up there, to arrive at their level. I think.
You're humble. You're humble to the core.
Unlike the commentator they brought in to finish off your day. That was another reason I couldn't watch it. I was not happy that Helmuth in there.
It's further. It's like towards the end.
Okay, so is it after the aces hand that we?
No, before.
It's before the aces hand. Okay.
That's why it's played. Yeah, that's why it's played in the meta game. That's why he played. Probably why he played jacks like that. I think.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. For some reason, I'm having trouble finding it. I'm gonna let the chat pros.
I'm okay if you don't find it. I'm not very proud of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna kind of quit on it now. If you want to recap it for David, go ahead, and then I think we're gonna jump in. Unless anyone else in the chat or anyone else has more questions for Sami, we're gonna jump into our regular wrap up of LA for the week. So. If you want to talk it through for David, just for your loyal fans out here, maybe they'll save you 10% off of the 20 he's going to take. Let me switch this over. All right. We have Rocky Hayden in the chat saying congrats as well. So actually, congrats to both of you, Derek and Sami.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you, Rocky. And thank you. Congrats, Derek, on your Commerce win.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I couldn't let you just win it by yourself, so I had to follow up with my own.
I appreciate it. No, no problem. Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
had his own
You were
punt
on
with
my
king. He
personal
had his own
table,
king
so
queen lucky run. So freaking.
I still a little bit sore because I bad beat him, but
somebody's Peter.
He bad me. Yeah. All right, all right. So let's move on. Sammy just has agreed to stay on and help us cover what happened in LA this last week.
Yeah, I
So
want to see
happy to
who
have him.
won.
Let's take a
What
look.
happened?
So as usual, we'll save the biggest event of the weekend for last. So let's just start around town. The only daily result, and like I said, I really have to get some spies in all these casinos to get the results because the only daily result I saw from the week is our buddy Rob Gill hanging out.
yeah, Rob.
Rob told me he could not play all the days of the XL stack, or no, I'm sorry, of the main event. So he figured Saturday would be soft down there, and
Right.
bam, took it down. So he chopped up the 20K guarantee, which actually had a prize pool of 39K down at the Gardens for about 8K after a chop. That's impressive.
Damn, you play with Rob a lot, huh?
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yep, Rob is great. A lot of fun. He's a lot of action. He's still energetic at the table. He's awesome to have around.
Yeah, good player too. It just seems like I just can't play the XL, so I'm just gonna go win this other one instead.
I know.
It's a good job.
It's smart too. Yeah, it was smart. He figured, it's be a good day to go
When you
down.
sit down at the table with that guy, you can feel his passion for the game, which is very refreshing and very cool to see. Like, very nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait till he ships something a little, one of these bigger events so we can embarrass him with some of his commercials that the people have found. All right. So moving over to the LA Poker Open. Exactly, Sammy. You can't wait. You can't wait either. It's going to be great. Make sure you see it. So another guy who plays constantly. He probably was up there railing you at the NAPT. Jeremy Mintz took down the bounty multiplier from last week at the LA Poker Open.
They're very good player.
Yeah, play with Jeremy all the time. Nice guy.
I decided I'm gonna have a comment about every single people.
Do it.
When I first met that guy, I hated that guy. Like, he was talking so much. It was like, when this guy is gonna shut the fuck up. But
he does. He just chatter. Yeah.
No, well, that's why. That's why when I
nice.
sit at a table with Jeremy, nobody else is happy. But it's always funny.
No, but like, he's super nice.
Yep. No, he is. The thing about Jeremy is his sense of humor is very not insulting, but it's very like Seinfeldy, right? It's like very dry and very like it's not complimentary, but he's not like being mean to you, right? It's his sense of humor is very easy to come off as kind of the wrong way if you don't know him. So, but if you'll notice this is one of the reasons people love and hate bounty tournaments. This was a pretty small day two field actually. The day two field was only these 14, 13 people. And it was bounty multiplier, so all the bounties were saved until day two, in which case they were like 10 times your regular value. If you'll notice, look at this prize money and look at the bounties in front of Jeremy. He's got 7 bounties. There were only 13 people on day two.
Nice.
He got half the bounties in the field.
He busted.
He busted 7 people. He got 22. This prize money, I believe, includes the bounty money. He got 22 grand, 22,000 out of the 58,000 prize. He got a full third of the prize money out of this thing. Like, congrats, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? I mean, bounty tournaments, what the heck? The other event they ran before the main event started last week was the 2-day pot limit Omaha tournament. That was a win. The winner there was Narek Avestian. It looks like they did a chop. What do you think? 3-way or 2-way? At least 2, probably 3-way, I think.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy.
This guy is a regular of the 5-5 low at the Hustler. I see him like very often and very late, and I've come back to work the day after, and he's still there. I don't know if he went home. But,
what a grinder!
5-5 grinder.
All right, well, he's got the chops. He brought it to the tournament streets.
Always have a mountain of chips in front of him.
Nice. So this guy, he's definitely not a fluke.
Yeah, he's got a trophy to show for it now.
I love having Sammy on. He knows all the people we don't know because we've been
really
weak.
Yeah,
we've been really weak.
We don't know half the people.
The mixed games come up, and we're just like, well,
that was luck. Like, I don't know him personally. I just like see him.
And then here we had Mr. Caleb Benton. I know Caleb. Caleb's a really nice kid. He plays all of these. I think he's kind of in the sub 1K role. If there's a tournament for less than 1,000, he's definitely there. He's been grinding hard for the last couple of years, I know, and he's been he's a follower of the pod and big shout out to Caleb. Congratulations. It looks like there was a chop 6-way, which, these 1 days, it gets really turbo-y at the end. And also, I just want to point out, I tried. I was trying to get a spade to keep up with Derek, but I got knocked out in 14th. My final
Wow,
hand.
there's a lot of good players on this list. You got like
Oh.
Michael Ung here. You
Yep.
had
I think, did he cash? No.
Jordan Reed.
Yep, this field was very strong. A lot of the people. This was taking place during the day 3 of the main event, or the day 2 of the main event, right? So as there weren't a lot of people in it, but as they busted out, the ones that just loved to play, they were here, right?
Yeah, there's Mike Escagnari.
And he did great. He was one of the just out of the chop, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't had like a ton of hours with Caleb, but I played with him before, and I just generally observe him as being a pretty good player.
Yeah.
What about you, Sammy? You played Caleb before?
No, it doesn't look familiar to me.
I think
However,
sometimes he
Mike was
wears
on my,
hoodies, but
day one.
yeah, he'll introduce himself to you next time, I'm sure. But he's a nice kid. He's a good kid. All right, to the main event. Main event, man. This main event was a smashing success. Congratulations to all of us. Congratulations to Commerce. That 430 entries, they hit the entire 250K guarantee all on one day. On Saturday, they had
on Saturday
253 entries, I think. So they smashed this guarantee in a single day. They almost doubled their guarantee. Hopefully, way to show up, people. Unfortunately, Derek and I both did not make it to day 2, but we did our part to make sure that the people, hopefully the people at Commerce will continue running these, keep increasing the guarantees. I'm excited, but congratulations to Adam Perlman, the winner. You don't know? So Adam Perlman, I took a look. I'm not sure if there's a mistake, but according to his Hendon Mom, he has not played too much live. His best live cash for this, 3,500 total live earnings, 9,400.
Nice.
According
you,
to
buddy.
Hendon, he looks like he took a long break and then just started playing a little bit last June, June 2022. So
How about Rudy?
So way to go. Now, if you look at this ending, though, this was also a stacked day 2, a stacked final table. The end of this thing, you'll see a very familiar name. Definitely want to point out a Mr. Jared Greiner here in 4th. It feels like every 1K LA's run this year, he's final tabled. I don't know.
Yeah, Jared, man, he just like shows up for the bigger ones and he final tables all of them. It's crazy.
Crusher.
Yeah, it's insane.
I have a funny story about the third.
Yep, Girish, Gary.
Tournament. Yes, so this guy, I'm in NAPT day 2. Do we have time? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So we are on day 2, and I forgot to mention, but on day 2 of that tournament, end of day 2, I went down to 4 big blinds.
Wow.
And
Chip in a chair, buddy.
Anyway, I found an ace on the cutoff. I go all in with ace-7 off, and this guy calls me in a small blind with king-queen. Anyway, I 9 high board, and then I double up, and then a few hands later he double me up again. And anyway, the whole day is kind of mad at me, and he tells me I owe him because he put me back in the tournament. And anyway, and I see him after I win. We take a picture, very friendly and stuff, and he sent me text like, "Hey, man, you owe me. I think 2% is very fair." Like he was dead serious.
Oh wow! Are you serious?
Seriously?
Like dead serious.
Look,
so I don't know. This guy,
he's definitely an interesting character, but I'm surprised that he would do something like that.
Yeah.
But he's a character for sure.
I heard some less than favorable stories about him at my table while they're playing the final table. Some people who had some what's the word, rough interactions with him in the past. So I guess he does rub people.
Yeah, he's a very he's socially.
It's a little rough around the edges for sure, to say
like
nice.
He's not the friendliest person I met on the poker table.
I gotcha.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's it. Another great score for him.
Yeah. No, he I think he had 2 final tables at the World Series this year, so he's been having a great year as well.
Yeah.
So like
he also has a very interesting style of play too, where it just I think if you had the spectrum of like GTO versus the other side, he's very much on the other side, but it's working for him because he does go deep a lot.
Yeah. So if you just want to look down these names, though, other guys, Rudy. There's
Rudy,
two Rudys here,
yeah.
but the Rudys.
Shout out to my boy Rudy
Yep.
Cervantes.
And then you're gonna notice, Brian Hastings, that name popping
Wow.
up. Tony Denove, let's
Tony.
say. Another
go,
one of our
Tony.
local bracelet winners here. So just
Yeah.
a
Ron
stacked
West.
whole day.
Wow. Ron West, David
Yep.
Rosabloom. I mean, Nancy Matson, 21st. Nice, Nancy.
Yeah.
Michael Nia. Mike Nia was at my table all day. Jeremy Mintz, there he is in 26.
Jeremy.
Wow, what a
he came
Mike.
over to the one day and got busted out of that thing next to me too. So, and then Sean Yu down here.
Sean Yu, yeah.
All the people you'd expect to see in there, except for you or I there, Derek. I think we're.
I couldn't make it. I had
Why are you guys?
I don't know. We'll get him next time. I couldn't get off starting stack all of that day one. My second bullet that day. I couldn't get off starting stack. It was crazy. I outlasted you actually with a starting stack because I looked over when Fausto sat at your table and it was late in the day and I still had starting stack and
yeah, Fausto showed up at my table in his first hand. He busted me, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
He busted me in such an interesting hand that I do a Twitter poll on it.
All right, so those are the big results from this weekend. But during this weekend, on what day was it? I think on Saturday, actually on Friday night, I got a text from DJ at Commerce, and he said, "Hey, what do you think Black Friday tournament? We got it approved. We're doing this thing." I'm like, "What? I don't know what's happening. What are you talking about?" And he described it, and holy cow, we are lucky. I thought I was going to be bored this weekend, but for all of us, Sammy's not interested because this buy-in's down in the 400s, but it's got a 150K guarantee, the kind of guarantee that the bike hits in a single day, but we have 3 flights of this thing. And to be honest, for the XL stack, which was basically this exact tournament, right? Let me see, the levels, where are the levels? Okay, so these are 30-minute levels. So the structure's a little worse, but for the XL stack, they had a day where they almost had 500 people. So I could definitely see this thing hitting 300K prize pool.
And they're playing upstairs.
Yep, this is also in the ballroom. This is in the no, Sammy, they're gonna play in the parking lot. You don't want to come to this. But
No,
Friday,
I'm not
2
coming in
flights.
either way,
Yeah.
because-
You'll be at the hospital, man. So there's 2 flights Friday,
Maybe.
11 a.m., Friday, 4 p.m., and then another flight on Saturday, 11 a.m., with day 2 being on Sunday. And they're also putting on a 25K guarantee, I think $300 buy-in on Sunday, in case you want to go to that. So
Nice.
this weekend after Thanksgiving, you want to get away from the in-laws, you want to play a little poker. This is a great event. I would have suggested he almost make the structure the same as the XL stack, but whatever. It's a 150 guarantee. It's the holidays. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun.
It's great to have some coverage on Black Friday. It'd be interesting to see how many people are going to show up for it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really good event.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a lot, because people are off. How long can you just sit around at home doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a very good one, I think.
Yep. So around town this weekend, though, for tomorrow, Wednesday, over at Hollywood Park, they are still in their Super Week. I think we mentioned this last week. Their Super Week is slightly bigger tournaments than they usually run, just slightly different events. So tomorrow they have a 3K guaranteed Big O event. If you want to splash around in the Big O streets, so that's at 1:15 p.m. And then tomorrow night they have they have a 12K guaranteed Breakneck $50 bounty. That's a $250 buy-in. That starts at 6 p.m. Starts at 6 p.m. There's no tournament on Thursday or Sunday at Hollywood Park, though. So if you're a Hollywood Park regular, there will be nothing going on there Thursday or Sunday. But like we said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got stuff at Commerce. They will still have their Friday and Saturday tournament. And it turns out Lucky Lady will also be running a slightly bigger tournament than they usually run this Sunday. So on Sunday, Lucky Lady will also be running a 20K guarantee, $240 buy-in tournament. I have not played a tournament at Lucky Lady since the Larry Flint Quantum they did years ago. So if I somehow don't bag up for the Black Friday tournament, I may find my way over here. It could be an interesting one to try.
There is a lot of good things happening for poker and Lucky Lady lately. Like like they try to like the cash low stake have been fantastic over there. Like you can sit down at a 2-3 table with like $800.
Yeah.
Like they really put the player in the best in the best situation to play free food. They have a lot of good things. You should, if you want to play cash like 2-3 5-5, you should definitely check out Lucky Lady.
Yeah,
Nice.
we talked about DJIF trying to get a different kind of live stream started up over there a couple weeks ago, and I believe they launched this week officially, quote unquote officially. And yeah, the games that you're talking about, I've been seeing him advertise those, calling them Yellow Chip Heaven. It's over in their kind of nicer room, the nicer back room, if I recall. And that is part of why I would be kind of interested in going over there if I don't find myself in the day 2 of the Commerce, to try and see what those streets are like, see if it's fun, splashy game or not, or see if it really is Yellow Chip Heaven. I'm interested. So for sure, something might check out.
Give it a try.
Yep. And then, of course, for the rest of you who can't play those multi-days or just find yourself down south, the Gardens has its regular dailies happening this weekend. I did not see any announcements about them being canceled, so those are always a good choice. Nice guarantees, good structures, and you will qualify for their $50,000 free roll by earning points by entering those guys. All right. Well, that is all we have for you this week. Thank you so much to Sami for showing up and joining us this week. Let me get this back on our faces. I've been showing that sign too long. Thank you very much for everyone who joined us in the chat. Thank you for everybody who left us questions on Twitter. Oh, David claims he was just joking. He'd never ask you for 2%. It's always 20%. That's what he said. All right.
I'm not surprised. He's greedy. He's a greedy boy.
All right, guys. So
it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Sami.
Congrats again on your win, and thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, always out there repping the LA poker scene. Getting you're not going to rest till you have your face on the wall of every casino in the country, I have a feeling, and it's going to be there. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and until next week, we will see you at the tables. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.